UFC 199 just ended. I'm so tired, but I have to talk about this. I am pumped up. Michael Bisping just beat Luke Rockhold, knocked him out in the first round. That is so bittersweet. He came in, it seemed like all odds were against him. He's been in the UFC for 10 years, never even got a title shot. Always seemed like that guy that was always just right at, just grasping for that title shot, but just could never get there. He beat Luke Rockhold on 2 weeks' notice. Luke Rockhold beat him before. I mean, it just seemed like all odds were against him, and he came out and just knocked Luke Rockhold out. I'm so pumped. I've never even been a big Michael Bisping fan, but man, I'm so happy for him. Another title fight, we had Dominic Cruz versus Uriah Faber. Uriah Faber came out that first round. I think Uriah Faber, I probably would have gave him the first round, and he looked great. But Dominic Cruz, his fighting style, it just proved too much for Uriah Faber. He just seems so hard to just. I mean, he can't even adjust to this guy mid fight or anything. But Dominic Cruz came back. He's been injured for so long, and this is his second fight. I want to say this year that he's not got injured and actually made it to fight night. I want to see him still come around. I'd like to see him and TJ Dillashaw get a rematch, but Dominic Cruz he keeps his belt. Max Holloway versus Ricardo Lamas. This fight was good, man. Max Holloway. I thought this was a good stylistic matchup. Ricardo Lamas, he's a good wrestler. He'll put a lot of pressure on you, but Max Holloway, he uses his length. Man, Ricardo Lamas couldn't even get in and do anything. Max Holloway, he is awesome. I want to see this guy get a title shot soon, but Conor McGregor, he's still holding up the division. They announced he's fighting, of course, Nate Diaz again. This is going to be for another video, but Max Holloway looked spectacular, and at the end of the fight, I loved that when Max Holloway called Ricardo Lamas to the middle of the cage, and so they can just swing it out for the last 10 seconds. Dan Henderson and Hector Lombard, man, another guy. It just seemed like all the odds were against him. Dan Henderson's so old. I love the guy though. He's been around for so long, but he was fighting Hector Lombard, a killer, and Dan Henderson landed a head kick to back elbow to knock out Hector Lombard. And man, I was so pumped up for that. That was awesome. I love Dan Henderson, but God, I just did not see that happening. Dustin Poirier beat Bobby Green in the first round. Another big fight. Dustin Poirier, he's going to crack in. I don't know if he was ranked or not, but he's going to crack into that lightweight rankings. He's going to jump up there. That was a big win for him. There's a lot of other great fights on this card. Clay Guida fought Brian Ortega, got knocked out. I didn't see that happening. Man, there's just so much stuff. Like I said, I got to wake up in just a few hours to go to work. But man, I had to talk about this. This is one of my favorite fight cards that I can remember. This is just so awesome. UFC 189 lived up to all hype that I could imagine. We got UFC 200 coming up soon. There was a lot of stuff there was a few things that the UFC announced coming up during this fight card, and I will make another video for those probably tomorrow or the day after, but keep a lookout for that. Let me know what y'all think. Thanks.